We're at that point in Joshua, Michael,
Wow.
where everyone puts their Bibles away and they say, those Bible stories were great, but I'm done.
Yeah, let's go move on to Judges.
We'll kind of give the big overview and kind of zoom in to where we are at, but not what people would call the exciting part. But I think as we look at it, really, really important. And there's little themes that you clearly see that I think it's easy in daily Bible reading to start like skimming through and just turning the pages. Yeah.
You're saying God put that in there for a reason?
Can you believe it?
And we're maybe supposed to glean some, probably easier for the Israelite of the day to glean those pieces. And
they're familiar with the geography and the kings.
Right. Than us, separated by thousands of miles and thousands of years. And
that's true. It's like, where's this place? Like, you're like, I need a map if I'm going to know where that. Maybe I know where Judah is. Yeah. Maybe Benjamin.
Yeah.
But then you start like losing it.
Well, because the 10 tribes are lost, right?
That's right. You're like, what are we doing? You look at a map and you're like, Simeon was there. That's weird. And it's like you just have no context because why would you?
Yeah.
So anyway, we are going to talk today. We're going to cover a lot of ground. We're going to start in chapter 13, and we are going to go through maybe up to around 17 for this episode. So to recap, chapters 1 through 4, we're entering the land. We're coming into the promised land. Chapter 5 through 12, we're taking the land. And then where we're starting here, we're possessing the land. We're dividing the land up. We're going to do our best to bring a little, as I was going through it, it's like, I did not realize this. I felt like learned a lot, because it's kind of where it goes from this like epic movie with all these battle scenes to, like you were saying, lots, monotonous land surveys, things that they don't make it into
numbering
the movie.
Of the tribes, right? Do we get some numbering? Like they talk about the sizes of the different tribes.
That's true. Yeah, we get all of this stuff. But like you said, let's pretend like we're an Israelite and try to get that meaningful perspective on. So starting in chapter 13, and if we're looking at a big picture, and probably in your Bible, it's divided up into a couple different sections. In mind,
did we want to take it to the next level?
Oh yeah,
our new format is really messing us up.
Yeah,
so,
go ahead.
Yeah. So we are going to take this Joshua study to the next level.
Let's fire up that twangy music.
From the heart of the Low Country in South Carolina,
it's the Take Two podcast, where we take theology to the next level.
Joshua chapter 13.
Yeah.
This chapter can be divided into two sections. Verses 1 through 7 kind of talks about the land that's still to be conquered. It's going to be an introduction to this whole section. And then the end of the chapter, we're going to start talking about the 2.5 tribes on the east side of the Jordan. That would be the tribe of Reuben, the tribe of Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh. That always gets me, the half tribe.
So it's all of Manasseh, but it's like Manasseh and Ephraim, or is it really half of Manasseh and half of Manasseh?
I am, as we're talking, going to see if one of my maps, here we go. So the way, this is, because it helped me to look at a map, you can see there's like East Manasseh is huge. Like if you see how big Manasseh's land is,
wow,
it's a lot. And even on this map, you can see Judah's big, but Simeon's like right in the middle of it. So Judah's not as big as it appears. It is very big here, but
that's good.
Everyone should pause the episode.
I'll take a picture of that.
There you go.
Maybe we can put it on our green screen. That'd be good.
Because it does help.
So it is half of Manasseh.
Half of Manasseh.
And not, so, because one thing that is confusing, because Joseph has 2 kids. So is it like, 11, and then Manasseh's 11.5, and Ephraim's, brings us up to 12. But we're really talking about Manasseh's huge, and half of Manasseh's on one side of the river, and the other half's on the other side of the river.
Exactly right. So starting, if we back up to the beginning of chapter 13, go ahead and read verse 1 for us.
Now Joshua was old and advanced in years when the Lord said to him, "You are old and advanced in years, and very much of the land remains to be possessed."
I love that.
Very straightforward.
Yahweh just telling it how it is. You are old. And so Joshua, end of his life, advanced in year, and he's kind of charged by Yahweh. There's some land still to be possessed. Talks about some of the Philistine land in the southwest, some of the land that was in the north. It's kind of pointing out you've taken a lot of this land, but there's more work to be done, more stuff to possess. If we were to read this whole section, we would read that God promises to drive out enemies for Israel, and God commands that this land's going to be divided by the 9.5 tribes. And then we flip to the second half of the chapter where we get those 2.5 tribes, Reuben, Gad, and the half tribe of Manasseh. Some of this would, I think, be a little bit laborious to read, but go ahead and read verse 13.
All right, verse 13 says, "But the sons of Israel did not dispossess the Gershurites or the Maacathites, for Gershur and Maacath lived among Israel until this day."
So is that good or bad?
Probably bad.
not great. So it kind of talks about these tribes, Manasseh, half tribe Manasseh, Reuben, Gad. You're going to possess the land on this side of the Jordan, but they did not drive out everyone. Then it kind of goes and talks about, hey, Reuben, this is for you. Gad, this is for you. Manasseh, this is for you. And we see that phrase that you just read, we see it repeated in Joshua chapter 15, 16, 17, and maybe more famously, we see it at the very beginning of Judges, kind of recapping all that happened here. And if we were to take time to read all of this, you might be able to guess, or I'd be curious to think about which victories would you highlight. And it seems like some of the victories that get highlighted a lot are Og, Sihon, and Balaam gets shouted out. You see Balaam a lot throughout Scripture, mentioned. Some of these things that those are the victory allusions that are mentioned. And then we also mentioned that Levites, they don't get a lot of land.
No, just like little pieces of land in all the land.
That's right. Their inheritance is Yahweh and these offerings and these kind of things. So that is 13 in a nutshell.
Well, can you remind me
yes.
and the listeners, because the name is very similar to the name we just read, but the people who tricked Joshua early on, what were they?
Was it the Gibeonites?
Gibeonites.
Yes.
Yeah. And so just to keep those clear from
not the Geshurites.
Yeah, the Geshurites. Yeah.
That's the other thing. It's not like it'd be so much easier if it was like the Canadians or something. Then we would get it, but it's like these random, you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I heard these, but don't have a great context for them. Chapter 14 is great because it talks, what we're going to see, I think, in the coming chapters are different examples. Some very positive, some very negative. We're going to talk first off of Caleb.
Probably a good example.
Yeah, good example. That's right. What Israel should have done everywhere is what Caleb does. So if you're zooming out for chapters 14 through 19, we kind of see a unit that emphasizes two faithful spies, Caleb and Joshua. Caleb now, Joshua in chapter 19. And then kind of sandwiched in between are some of the not so good.
The no buenos.
No buenos. Exactly. So let's see. If I were to summarize verses 1 through 5, it's an overview of the inheritance for the 9.5 tribes west of the Jordan. And then we get to verse 6, and we get to Caleb's example. Can you read verses 8 and 9 for us of chapter 14?
Nevertheless, my brethren, who went up with me, made the heart of the people melt with fear. But I followed Yahweh, my God, fully. So Moses swore on that day, saying, surely the land on which your foot has trodden will be an inheritance to you and to your children forever, because you have followed Yahweh, my God, fully. Also
read verse 14.
That says, therefore Hebron became the inheritance of Caleb, the son of Jephunneh, the Kenizzite, until this day, because he followed Yahweh, God of Israel, fully. So
I don't know if you picked up on some repeated phrases in those three verses. Talks about wholly following Yahweh, and it's what Caleb's known for. It's emphasized over and over and over again. If we were to read through it, you would also see this theme of Yahweh keeping his promises in verse 6, 10, 12, really 5 other times. Caleb in this speech is saying, I did this because I knew the promises were this was promised to us. And so at this time, Caleb's also advanced in years. He's probably in his mid-80s, lived through a lot of fighting. But just looking back and it's guys, if I had to tell you anything, it's that I wholly followed Yahweh. And it turned out really, really well. One other verse to read, and maybe we can comment on it. We'll read verse 12.
Verse 12 says, Now then, give me this hill country about which Yahweh spoke on that day. For you heard on that day that Anakim were there with great fortified cities. Perhaps Yahweh will be with me, and I will drive them out as Yahweh has spoken.
So this like senior citizen, 85-year-old guy is like asking for the smoke. He's like, Anakim, potential, giant connections. He's like, I'm happy. Give this to me.
Yeah, well, he wants it all.
Which is crazy because we know Israel doesn't drive out, but Caleb's like, I'm all about this.
I'm all in.
And it is interesting, like just looking back, it's like this has been Caleb and Joshua from day one, and it's been everyone else from day one. It's kind
like
of,
we saw what the Lord can do. Who's going to hold back the Lord? If I were to say the name Fido to you, what would you think?
Man, I don't know. It sounds very familiar. I can't.
No, like if I said, Fido, naturally nothing.
I don't know.
A dog?
Yeah, I was going to say a dog.
Okay.
I was. I didn't know.
Yeah. So Fido is actually Latin for faithful.
Yeah.
And Caleb has that double meaning of faithfulness and dog. But it's like the good side of dog because dogs are so faithful. Like they just want to serve the master.
Stand by your side.
They'll be there.
Man.
They want to serve you fully. And that's what Caleb's doing here.
Oh, that's great. We'll remember this response by Caleb as we get to chapter 17 and we hear Joseph's tribe's response not as favorable. So that's chapter 14. Big takeaway is Caleb is this good example doing what is right. Chapter 15, another tedious chapter of promised geography. First 12 verses are tracing the inheritance of Judah, talking about the boundaries. It seems boring, but like you said, if you were an Israelite, this would be like Genesis 12 and Genesis 15 fulfillment as far as the geography it mentions. It's like, this is like where Abraham was, and you're putting this together.
Yeah, for us, if someone's like, so you're going to have from the West Ashley over to the Marion National Forest, like those boundary markers would be like, that's a big swath of land. Yeah, totally.
And so kind of just tracing out the different boundaries. Then we move into some more victories by Caleb. Him actually actualizing. Fighting at Hebron and Debir. Caleb, if we didn't know, from the tribe of Judah. That's interesting.
Oh, that is interesting.
Because Joshua, do we know what tribe Joshua is from? Do you know this?
I should. Levi?
That's a good guess. I should have looked this up. I think he is from Manasseh.
Oh, okay.
But I need to look this up before I just yell it into a microphone. I'm pretty sure he is.
We could make it be a user lookup. Like that's your homework. Comment on what tribe Joshua's from.
And then we get this laundry list. Verses 20 through 63 are all the towns that belong to Judah. Can you read verse 63 for us?
My Bible's in my vehicle. Failed to bring it in, so I am on my phone. So it says, "Now, as for the Jebusites, the inhabitants of Jerusalem, the sons of Judah could not drive them out. So the Jebusites live with the sons of Judah at Jerusalem until this day."
Not great. So we start seeing even Judah.
Yeah.
As like you're like, man, if I had to like write down the tribes, I probably would get Judah. Yeah. And you're like, they didn't even do great here. Not a strong start. And so that brings us into the last two chapters we're going to look at on this episode, chapter 16 through 17. And these are both chapters together serve as bad examples of Joseph's tribes. And I thought this might be worth talking about. If you were reading the Bible up until this point, Joseph's killing it, man. Mm-hmm. Joseph, that's the line that you're just like, for the most part, not everywhere, you're like, it just seems like everything's breaking their way. Judah, not quite as much.
That whole episode with Tamar and Oman, and that.
It's not nothing.
It's not the highlight.
So if we were to go to Genesis, chapters 37 through 50, that's all devoted to Joseph. That's a lot of Genesis.
Yeah, it is.
So it's like you read Genesis, more of Genesis talks about Joseph than Abraham. Mm-hmm. You're like, it just seems like Joseph's like got a lot going on for him. We look at Genesis 37-38. Joseph is this moral, exemplary person. Potiphar's wife, he flees. He saves Israel. His brother sell him into slavery. He's exalted. All these things happen. Mm-hmm. You said it. Judah, on the other hand, chapter 38 of Genesis, is sexually immoral. Yeah. He's actually
it's put in the middle of Joseph's stuff. Like it's almost like we're going to call Judah out here.
Yes, exactly. It's like put right next to some of this. You're like, this is very strange. Also, Judah is one of the brothers like mentioned, obviously like selling Joseph. Like it's like, man, Joseph's got the right actions. Judah, not so much. The key text, the one text, if you were going to say, man, something appeals for Judah, can you read Genesis 49, 8 through 10? And I bet you could, before you're even turning there, I bet you can guess what passage this is. This is Jacob blessing his children.
8 through 10?
8 through 10.
It says, Judah, your brothers shall praise you. Your hand shall be on the neck of your enemies. Your father's son shall bow down to you. Judah is a lion's whelp. From the prey, my son, you have gone up. He crouches, he lies down as a lion who dares rouse him up. The scepter shall not depart from Judah, nor the ruler's staff from between his feet, until Shiloh comes, and to him shall be the obedience of the peoples.
Yeah, that's good. You see this royal language of the future. The scepter shall not depart from Judah. Not really based on Judah's virtue up until this point, but on God's sovereign choice. Of note, in Genesis 44, there is this positive turning point for Judah. He's the one who says, hey, take me instead of Benjamin. Like you see it and you're like, okay, that's good. Mm-hmm. That seems positive. You see repentance. You see even in Tamar, he says this famous phrase, she's more righteous than I. Like he did wrong, but he owns it. Yeah. He doesn't like hide from it. So
kind of like David later on, maybe.
Exactly. Yeah. And so you see this very redemptive quality in that. And so you see Joseph, at least the way Genesis portrays things, he's kind of the savior figure. Judah, we see this kingly line. You read Exodus, you read Numbers, you think Ephraim and Manasseh. If you look at Numbers, and if you look at that map I just looked at, Manasseh by itself, gigantic. You add Ephraim to it, very blessed numerically. Joshua, I do have it here in the notes, is actually from Ephraim, not Manasseh, but he's from Joseph at least. Joseph's bones are like carried from Egypt. It's like an emphasis, It's not saying like, Judah's bones, it's like Joseph's bones, right? And Joshua, this is where this flip becomes visible and marks a decisive shift. When you look at the land allotment, Judah gets slightly more land. It's actually in the best location as far as strategy goes. Got some strongholds. It has Jerusalem, the future place of the temple. It really becomes the geographic backbone of Israel. And here, Caleb, not Joshua, the tribe of Judah, Caleb's the one who gets highlighted here. Yeah, and that's interesting because we always talk about Caleb. We do talk about Joshua, but it's like, Caleb, we do always talk about Joshua more than Caleb, but Caleb is very prominent here. He drives out the Anakim. He's kind of the hero in verses 14 through 15 of people who actually does the driving out, at least himself, maybe not his tribe. And so, anyway, we see this more develop in Judges, but it's interesting where we see kind of this flip in Scripture.
Yeah, it is interesting to look at the different tribes and the role they play. Because I think Levi has a big role too, with the priestly line and stuff. Yeah. But clearly, like you say, coming out of Genesis, Joseph kind of has the spotlight on him. But we see, like if you, it's one of those passages that if you're not paying attention, you can go right through what I've read about Joseph blessing his sons, because it's like, Reuben, you're going to be a wild boar and blah, 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 blah. And you're like, what are we saying here? Like, what's going on? But you see this prophetic stuff on Judah. So very, very interesting stuff. And it's very interesting that Joshua and Caleb come out of these kind of the two strongest tribes, Joseph and Judah.
And so chapter 16 and 17 are going to talk about Ephraim and Manasseh. 16 starts with Ephraim, and it follows a similar pattern of chapter 15. Also, something to remember, it's like the birth order was actually Manasseh and Ephraim, but the blessing got flipped, and just like, actually you crossed your arms, and just like, no, or Jacob's like, I got this right. Anyway, something to keep in mind. Can you read verse 10 of chapter 16?
Yeah. That reads,
and there's a theme going on.
But they did not drive out the Canaanites who lived in Gezer. So the Canaanites live in the midst of Ephraim to this day, and they became forced laborers. Not for long.
Not for long. That's right. And then the rest of that chapter, that was the end of chapter 16. It's short, talked about Ephraim. Then we flip to Manasseh. And they actually have a verse about Michael Mott in verse 3 if you want to read it.
Oh, sweet. I've never seen this verse before. Verse 3. However, this is in chapter 17.
Yes, yeah.
However, Zelophehad, the son of Hepher, the son of Gilead, the son of Machir, the son of Manasseh, had no sons, only daughters. And these are the names of his daughters, Mahala and Noah, Hoglah, Milcah, and Tirzah.
If your daughter's ever backtalk, you can be like, I should have named you. I should have named you Hoglah. So just trying to stay, true to scripture.
But I have 5 daughters too.
Yeah, that's what I was like. That's what I was like. This is insane. Yeah, it's so funny. And this is really if you look at the background, you look at Numbers 27, Numbers 36. There's this person who had no sons died, and the daughters asked Moses we want an inheritance. We don't want to give it to the closest male relative. That was the custom. Mm-hmm. Moses asked Yahweh, and Yahweh's like, yeah, they asked for it. We're going to honor that. In verse 4 here, that family reminds Eleazar, hey, remember this promise? Like, we're ready to, now we're realizing. So that's like a lot of faith, persistence. It's like calling back on things that happened years and years.
And one more similarity, if we had a son, we were going to name him Noah for a long time.
Really?
And one of the daughters' names was Noah.
That is so
Because we remember, we were like,
funny.
Is it going to be a Noah or a Chloe? Noah or Chloe? Going to be Lydia or a Chloe? Lydia or Noah? Yeah, there you go.
Go ahead and can you read verses 12 and 13?
Yeah. It says, but the sons of Manasseh could not take possession of these cities because the Canaanites persisted in living in that land. It came about when the sons of Israel became strong, they put the Canaanites to forced labor, but they did not drive them out completely. And you think forced labor sounds good.
Right. Yeah. Right.
But we know, during Saul and David's time, they're just going to be a thorn in their side.
Totally. This is like paving the way for judges. 14 through 17, I'll read this very quickly here. The people of Joseph spoke to Joshua, and they kind of say, why did you give me one lot and one portion as an inheritance? We've got a lot of people. We're numerous. The Lord's blessed us, but we don't get as much land as we think we should. I'm paraphrasing here. Mm-hmm. Joshua says, if you're so numerous, go in the forest, clear some ground, the land of the Perizzites and the Rephaim, and the hill country of Ephraim, if it's too narrow for you. And the people of Joseph said, the hill country is not enough for us. Yet all the Canaanites who dwell in the plain have chariots of iron, so we don't want to fight them. And Joshua's like, you got great power. You got so many people. Go fight this. And so, again, where we see it kind of flip is they want to complain, but they don't want to carry out the task because they're like, oh, it's going to be too hard. Mm-hmm. And so we start seeing that more and more echoes of Deuteronomy 7 and Deuteronomy 20 where we failed. So that kind of closes out on a negative note. We see like the highlights of Caleb, lowlights of Joseph's tribes. And the next section, we'll kind of see some more lowlights and then a highlight with Joshua at the end of this little section.
So how many more in Joshua do we have?
I think we might have 2 episodes more.
Okay.
And we'll be done. We'll go 18 through 21, then maybe 22 through 24. Okay. Then call it a day.
All right. And then we'll just pick up right there with Judges.
Just keep on rolling. We'll go through the whole Bible. But so in this, to recap a little bit, you look at this section of dividing up the land, and there's actually a lot baked in here with individual tribes and their attitudes and like the trajectory. Like the overall trajectory is pretty negative.
Yeah.
But that bright spot with Caleb and Judah, and the negative with Joseph, it tells you something more than maybe what you would normally pick up.
Yeah, and you can see how this is setting up for problems down the road, even when the 10 tribes kind of go rogue. That kind of attitudes from hundreds of years before.
Totally. These decisions weren't made in a day, but over time and over time.
Yeah.
And over time. And we're getting there. Joshua. Anything else on this section you want to highlight before we go to our last take?
Our last take? No,
our final take, whatever. I don't know what sounds better. Yeah.
The final countdown.
Final countdown. Get the music going.
Yeah. No, I think this has been good. So you taught this to the Impact group, right?
I didn't. I was going to.
Oh, okay.
But then we didn't. We're not doing Impact. Okay. We killed. I like to joke.
Land on this if y'all separate back?
Maybe so. Yeah. We'll see. Maybe, or at least maybe down the road, save it for a little bit.
Lydia likes combined, but she prefers separate. But,
ooh, there you go. That's good. Yeah, let's banter about decisions. That'll be good. No, it's good. I started Impact in 2020.
Wow.
Coming out of COVID. And I like the joke, we killed a 6-year-old, just put it to death, and now we're a young adult fellowship, but it was good.
6-year-old program.
A 6-year-old program.
Not a 6-year-old human. Yeah,
Don't just say 6-year-old. That's great.
So this should air on February 10th.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So either in real life, I'm kind of happy, really ecstatic, or you're kind of bummed from what happened on February 8th.
Man. Yeah. If I had to guess, like I won't say I've never wagered on a sports game in my life. Haven't done so in a very long time. But if I was a wagering guy, I would put money on the Patriots. Just to hedge my bets, because it just seems like things fall their way. You know what I'm saying? Someone's going to get injured. Or going to fall apart. Like Sam Darnold's going to throw like 3 interceptions and look terrible and spiral. And that's just what's going to happen.
I keep seeing more stats, and I'm like, plus the stats, the numbers, kind of go, okay, we're not the underdog that people make us out to be.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't.
And we kind of got some momentum, I think.
I think so too. I think with Seahawks they played well, but it's like they've been home. Like the Rams played on the I kind of was hoping the Rams, when they played on the road like every game and we're playing really. It's hard to do that. Mm-hmm. And it's like, Seahawks have been comfortable at home. It's like, now they're going to have to travel. It's like, some of that stuff is like, I wish they would have, like for the Patriots to go into Denver and play well, that's like, great. They can go somewhere else and play good. You know what I mean? So, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
So any score predictions?
Let's see. Patriots offense has not looked super great as of late. They had some, weather concerns that won't be there in the Super Bowl. So maybe like, I don't know, 28-24. Patriots beat the Sea. I know it's been so low scoring, I feel like, on the AFC side.
Yeah, I was thinking like maybe 21-14 or maybe 24-17 or something like that. We'll probably get some field goals kicked by both sides. I think it's going to be an interesting game. I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
Game. Yeah. I think it tends towards that too. Yeah. I hope it's a good game. We'll say. I just hope Sam Darnold doesn't fall apart, because he's played so good this year.
You don't want him to go there and C.J. Stroud.
Don't pull C.J. Stroud. Don't pull C.J. Stroud. Don't pull Stidham. Don't pull. Who else?
I'd like to see a backward shuttle pass of the football to no one, with 2 Patriot defenders there. I mean, if we could get that, that'd be fun.
Yeah, Stidham, Stroud. Who did the Patriots play in the first round? I'm totally blanking.
I do know. I just had to rewind it. The Chargers.
The Chargers. Oh, so Herbert.
Yeah.
Yeah, with a one-armed Herbert. It's like, great. See,
is his left arm injured?
I don't think it was dramatic. I think it's wearing a cast, but I don't think
cast.
Maybe, yeah. Maybe I made this up.
Yeah, I mean,
maybe.
I pay attention, but I don't pay.
I think he had not on his throwing hand, obviously, but a small fracture in his wrist or something. Yeah. So we'll see, because Sam Darnold played so bad in his. He played so good for the Vikings, and then that playoff game, total meltdown.
Some reporter asked him about seeing ghosts, because he made that comment. What was it, 4 or 5 years ago? When
I actually
he said
feel bad that he's getting beat up about that.
When he was playing the Pats.
We see, and we shouldn't throw it in his face. I wish more athletes would speak in those terms, but now no one ever. It's like, you say that, you're gonna get punished, or what I mean?
Yeah. And he was saying it to himself.
Yeah, totally.
It wasn't like he was up at a press conference man, I was seeing ghosts. He's just kind of talking to himself, man, you're seeing ghosts. Let's shake it up. Let's get your head in the game.
I don't trust Sam Darnold at all. I have no confidence in him. I have confidence in the Seahawks, but Sam Darnold, he's played really good lately. But when I think of him, I just think of a bad quarterback overall.
Well, he got the Vikings GM fired.
Whew. Yeah.
There's lots of people getting fired this year. I wonder if it's a record. We probably should ask.
Yeah, it's interesting. Man, I was so bummed. Yeah, the Steelers got rid of their special teams coach. You should look up this guy. He chews so much gum. Have you?
I've seen him.
He's great.
Yeah.
He's
it's second to Pete Carroll only.
Yeah, it's so good. I think he got a job with Atlanta, but Going strong. He's like in his mid-70s. I don't know at what time you need to
Yeah. That's like that guy, Ernie for the Pats. He retired eventually, but he's the one that would watch all that film that was illegally procured,
dude,
and draw up plays. Like he's the one that drew up and made sure that we practiced that play, because the Seahawks had done it a couple times.
Yeah.
Where they had the two guys and the outside guy, goes in and the inside guy kind of comes out. And that's been successful, and that was the one that Malcolm intercepted on.
Which is so weird, because it's like, I think, and I know nothing about football, that's probably why, but like everyone I knew in my life was just like, should have handed off Marshawn Lynch. Seems like he's done pretty good.
I can't remember. Have we talked about this?
I don't know. Maybe we have.
On the
probably. I have no idea. I can't remember.
Well, pardon us. You can turn it off if you heard. But I heard one of the Pats linemen, I think it was the former left tackle back when, I can't remember his name right now. I should know it, but back in the Brady era, the left tackle for the, and he was saying, I think it was him that was saying, his theory is that whoever, like the biggest thing that happens after the Super Bowl is the MVP ceremony.
Okay.
And if you're an offensive coordinator, you want your quarterback getting that.
Yeah.
And so he's like, in the Pats, we didn't do that. You would see us pass, and then we get the goal line, we run. Like, Michelle or James White or someone's running that in. And he's like, hands down, that they called that play because they want Russell Wilson to get the MVP, not Marshawn Lynch.
Oh, you're saying for the Super Bowl. Gotcha.
Yeah, because if you hand that off and he scores, that's a big moment right at the end that secures the game. He's the MVP.
Because he was pretty unstoppable all season. It's like,
I don't think Pete Carroll liked him.
Maybe not. I could see him being a wild card a little bit, like personality-wise, but man, he can run the ball.
And they said the same thing about when we played the Falcons in 51.
Yeah, it's like simple. If you just run the ball, you like win the game. It's easy as that.
If they
like
run
literally
the ball
the
at
math.
the end,
it's like so. And I'm not an offensive coordinator, but it's like, why are we like doing weird? Why are we like taking sacks out of field goal range? Like when we could just knee it? Like it seems common sense.
That's what I was going to talk about. Like that sack that took him out of field goal range. You don't have that if you've just run the ball. Like you at least get a field goal.
Yeah.
And you win the game.
Yeah, that's stuff I won't understand because I know it's a lot harder in the game, but it just seems like, man, basics.
Well, there's the game, and then there's the game within the game, like who gets the award, who gets the bonuses, what happens, and sometimes if you're focused on that, you lose the other game.
Cool. Yeah, it is crazy, man. Yeah. So all that to say, I don't trust Sam Darnold. He's doing something terrible. It's just just do the easy thing.
And I think Drake's been a little bit shaken, like it's his first time here. So I wouldn't be surprised. I think Vrabel has overemphasized ball security. Because there's a clip where Vrabel and Josh McDaniels are talking to Drake in the Broncos game. And Josh is like, you got to trust yourself. Like, you got to see it and hit it. Oh, yeah. And Vrabel's like, yeah, you're doing great, just ball security. And he's like,
it's great.
It's like you got the two people on each shoulder.
Yeah.
But a quarterback has to do both of those. He has to see it and trust it and have ball security.
Yeah, it's such a tough position because it's like, it seems like, people are open a lot, but you got to be looking for. It's like, but then you know what I mean. It's like you just got to be looking at the right people at the right time. It is tough.
Yeah, because it's easy for us to look back at film and go, this guy's wide open. Yeah. But you're trained, that play is developing, and so you're looking for you expect this person to be open first, and then this person. So let's talk about your check downs.
Yeah,
and a good quarterback is going to see someone come open. Your best ones will. But it's not. I laugh at all the people on Twitter or whatever. This guy was wide open. Yeah, but he had a lineman in his face running at him, and he's trying to. There's a lot going on. It is
crazy. Well, we'll see what happens in the Super Bowl. And if
you're listening to this,
That's right.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Oh, all right. Anything else you got?
That's it.
That's our take. Thanks for listening to Take Two. Find us wherever you find podcasts and on YouTube for those who want to watch our videocast.